Let's talk about love. Let's talk about love. Guys, I'm just being silly. Hello, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Rainy Days with Tabs. I'm your host, Tabitha, and it's such a pleasure to have you today. On today's episode, I am going to be talking about something I did not want to talk about because it's just uncomfortable. Not only because I am a private person, but it's uncomfortable because, some things like it sounds better in your head. And then when you have to say it out loud, it's like, oh my God, this is such a vulnerable place. But on today's episode, I'll basically be discussing, my thoughts on dating recently and how basically, to sum it all up, I'm scared. Scared is not the word. Terrified. Like terrified. And I know it sounds like I have a smile on my face. I feel like that's my coping mechanism for this episode. But in all honesty, if I were to sit alone and be by myself in a corner and think about it, I'm shaking because I'm like, ain't no way, ain't no goddamn way I'm going to go through what I went through again. And it's terrifying because you really don't know, if you'll have to go through it again. I'm honestly scared in the sense of Lord, I don't want the next person I'm with to be a lesson. Guys, I'm at a point in my life where I'd rather be single. I mean single for the rest of my life than to go through heartbreak again. Because as we all know, heartbreak isn't fun. It's just not an enjoyable thing. And if there's an opt-out button, I want to press it 800 times. Please take me out the game. I don't want to do it no more. I can't do it. And it's such an annoying thing to think about because I don't think anybody decides to get into a relationship with someone and has the idea that, okay, I'm going to get heartbroken at the end of this. But I think that in the beginning, the time when you're supposed to be the most observant, the time when you're supposed to, kind of be on your heels just to make sure you're not missing anything. And if there's anything you need to spot out, you can spot out now as opposed to later. And by that point in time, you're already invested in all that stuff. We're kind of so oblivious, just completely oblivious. I mean, red flags coming left and right. And we're like, oh, this is so pretty. Oh, he doesn't even respond back to my messages. How sweet. Or, oh, he's still talking to his ex. How nice. It's just the most apparent red flags. And we pass them off as flowers because honestly, let's be honest, that's what we want to see at that moment. I just want to be loved, And I've come to, of course, the place where it's at what cost? At what cost? At what cost am I gonna want love? I have love from everybody else, family, close friends. I mean, the ultimate, my savior. Why would I put myself in another position to be hurt? And granted, everybody's going to hurt me. Everybody has hurt me. But I'm scared of getting into another relationship and basically doing the same things I did. I do feel therapy plays a big role in not repeating cycles, especially if you're having someone on the outside that is able to detect those cycles within you and the things that you kind of repeat. And so you're, of course, more cognizant, so you move differently. But man, it's still a fear that you'll walk right back into those same circumstances. And it's crazy because I feel like everybody has different red flags. Like, a red flag for me is not a red flag for you. And I'm trying to learn to distinguish between my red flags and my character flaws. Like, is this a character flaw? Is this something that you can possibly work on? Or is this you? Is this the core of you? And I have to accept that and be like, nah, I'm good, bud. Thanks for trying, though. But I'm scared. I would have to say, like, every year for Valentine's Day, even though, I would say I don't care for Valentine's Day, not only because, it's a pagan holiday and the meaning of Valentine's is not the same, yada, 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 all that. But I also don't care for it because I think I've never experienced a good Valentine's Day, which is okay. I mean, it is what it is. Granted, I feel like if I was in a relationship at that time that I felt like every day was Valentine's Day. I don't know. I don't know why we like make such a big deal out of one day. Literally, it's just one day out of the year. Like, not even like several days sprinkled throughout. Like, it's just one day where men have to like roll out all of their money and women have to somehow plan this day. I got to make sure I'm waxed up. Got to make sure my nails are done. Feet done. It's like, wait, so you walking around all year crusty? Why is it this specific day that you have to like just go all out? I don't know. I digress. But either way, I don't care for the holiday so much. And I feel like because I'm in my place right now where I'm like, screw men. Well, I don't feel that way. I'm just like, stay away. You're going to break my heart. That's how I feel. I feel very cautious. I mean, if there was a wall to put up, it's high, like high at this point. And so I don't care for the holiday even more because I'm like, all of you are playing yourselves. All he's going to do is walk out on you. I mean, he's taking you out on Saturday night so he could spend Sunday with his girlfriend. I mean, maybe it's like a little pessimistic. Maybe I am pessimistic about it. But, I wish it wasn't true. And for those who are, planning a wonderful Valentine's, cheers to you. Have the great time with, your boo thing or whatever. But for the rest of us who are single, might I add happily, we're just being cautious. We're being so cautious because honestly, it's such a scary world out there. And I've spoken to married couples and, even when you feel like you're about to choose right, you can still end up choosing wrong. Like, this person will be this way for 20 years. And then one day you have him rolling in with a stroller with a baby from another lady. Like, and I wish this was like made up in like fairy tale and fancy, but it's honestly the truth. And so I just kind of feel like, is there any winning? Like, I'm really just trying to, like, I don't have trust in man. Like, not a man, but man in general. So, like, for me to have to, like, trust and believe that you won't break my heart, like, why? It's just easier to be single at this point, right? Like, how can I, like, really confidently say, okay, I'm going to get back out there. And I can't even say that without, like, rolling my eyes. I'm going to get back out there. I'm going to see what's out there. I'm going to see what God has for me. And it's like, man, Lord, there's times when God really does have someone for you. And even that is like a huge question. I've heard so many things about it, but to stay on that track, and that person still ends up disappointing you. If like marriage is such a ministry that if I'm going to go into it, I want to go into it confidently, but you really don't know how your spouse will be. I mean, we're two people that will be growing, that will be changing. Will I be able to deal with your growth and vice versa? Will we be growing together, separately? It's just a ton of questions that I have. And all of those questions definitely leave me hesitant, and it leaves me idle when it comes to even pursuing a relationship. I know what I've been through in my past, and not going through that again. And so my coping mechanism for not going through it again is literally not even like entertaining the idea of being in a relationship. And I know that's not what God has for me. I know I'm supposed to be with someone. I kind of feel that. Like, I don't feel like I was called to singleness. But I've come to the conclusion that if I was, and if I am, and if I remain single, that I'm going to be just fine. Me and my sister always like to say, like, we're just going to be these two little fine aunties. I will be that fine auntie. Like, I will live my life. I will not feel like, I wish. Nah, I'm good. But I'm trying to figure out like a way to break out of that. And I know that a lot of that is going to come through prayer and ultimately meeting the right person, I think. I'm going to hope and believe that the person that I would meet, the person that would come in my life, would not only kind of take my focus, because I'm so focused on my dreams and on my desires and accomplishing goals. They would have to take my focus just for a few minutes. I would have to notice, oh, wait, when were you there? Have you been standing there that whole time? Because I really can't go through what I went through again. And I'm sure a lot of you feel the same. Like, no, I will not. This is not even worth it. It's not worth a couple back rubs and a couple sweet empty nothings. I will wait. I mean wait until I know that this person is upstanding and that I can truly trust them with my heart. And even then, I really can't, but I trust God. And because I trust God, I trust that He will always give me His best. If I'm looking for my best, I'm going to fall short. That person is not even going to be what I expect them to be, and they're going to disappoint me. But if I trust God, then that person will be what I need and want, because God is in the business of fulfilling our wants and desires, but also for sure giving us our needs. So I hope that all of you who are enjoying this Valentine's Day weekend enjoy it responsibly. I don't think it's worth getting into an entanglement or whatever with someone that you know, like, it's not gonna last. I mean, spare your heart, bro. Like, guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. Like, it's not even worth it. So if you've got to just keep it pushing and just get through the day, literally just get through the day. It's literally a day. I tell you, by Monday, all of the flowers and balloons will be on sale. You go get that. You go to your neighborhood store and you buy that candy that's going to now be on a discount and enjoy it. Like, don't let the day, literally one day, drive you away and make you feel like you have to be with someone, or make you feel 10 times lonelier on that day than you did on any other day. Pray for me, y'all, in my heart, and that I don't allow fear to govern how I move. And more importantly, that I don't put my fear above God's will for my life, because that's not it either. I also want to be open to seeing what God has in store for me, as opposed to just wanting to just like literally shut down, and every hey or hoot is like, don't talk to me. You're trying to break my heart, don't talk to me. Proverbs 4 verse 23 says to guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. Lord, I've been doing just that, but is it possible that I've been guarding it too much, where I've basically built a correctional facility? How do I find my middle ground? I know you know what's best for me. Help me to find the middle between guarding my heart while also releasing it to you. And for my friend listening, can you help them too? Help us to both not get caught up in the idea of being in a relationship that common sense and wisdom gets thrown out too. We want to do better about talking to you about what we want and need so that you can give it to us. And for those relationships that will be built or are currently building, show us those red flags as red flags, not the pretty roses we assume them to be. I ask for all of this not because I deserve anything, but because you're a great God. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen. And just to remind you, it does not rain always, but it's raining today. So go stand in the rain.